Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Free Info Friday, your weekly dose of information brought to you by me, attorney Karen Kekelik. This week's topic is the new Title IX rule. The U.S. Department of Education published a new Title IX regulation on May 6th. Keep in mind that this video is just a brief, simple overview of some of the main points that I took out of this new regulation. There's a lot of details that are in this new regulation, a lot of nuances. So if this is interesting to you or pertinent to you in any way, I would suggest that you do your own research and consult with a legal representative if needed. So let's jump right in. This new rule required many institutions of higher education to make changes to the way that they address accusations of sexual harassment or assault. This new rule also changed the definition of sexual harassment from misconduct that is severe, pervasive, or objectively offensive to misconduct that is severe, pervasive, and objectively offensive. So let's break that down a little bit. That was just a one-word difference between or and, but it actually makes a really big difference in the big scheme of things. Whereas in the past, you only had to prove that the misconduct was either severe, pervasive, or objectively offensive. In the future, you'll have to prove that the misconduct was all three: severe, pervasive, and objectively offensive. The new rule also requires proceedings similar to legal hearings that include things like a presumption of innocence, standards of evidence, cross-examination, and judges. So this means that institutions of higher education are going to have to allocate more resources to fulfill the obligations that are needed for these proceedings for sexual harassment or assault accusations. So they're going to have to allocate more resources to fulfilling these new regulations. In addition, some people believe that the way that this will now be handled, the serious court-like way that this is handled, along with the change in the definition, victims are going to be more fearful or more hesitant to come out and accuse their abusers. The last thing I wanted to touch on was that this new rule does impose some limits on a school's liability for misconduct that happens off campus. So think of things like spring break or just generally when students are off campus. A school may not be held liable, or they have some limits on their liability versus how the regulation was in the past. So overall, what I would say about these new rules and regulations is that it's really too soon to tell if this is a good change, a positive change, or a negative change. We really need to take some time to see how these rules play out. And I think it also will look a little differently given that we're in the middle of a pandemic. So universities and institutions of higher education are on a whole operating a little differently than they had before. So it is going to take some time to see how these rules really affect these sorts of accusations, and we'll just have to see how that kind of plays out. So that's all I had for you guys today. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, I would encourage you to post a comment or reach out to me in some way. If you are in need of legal services, please feel free to call, text, email, Facebook message, whatever is most convenient for you, and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Additionally, feel free to subscribe to my YouTube channel or check up on my Facebook and LinkedIn pages where I will be posting my videos every Friday. You can also listen for my videos on 103.1 WVLP. Thanks guys, have a great weekend, and I'll talk to you soon.